Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to today's financial town hall, in which we're going to talk about our welfare. You know how we work so hard, and we really want to be sure that we're working hard and living long at the same time. So today, to help us with that topic, we have a very, very, very dear sister, very dear to my heart. She loves the community. She's a YouTuber like myself, and she's a mother, she's a wife, and she loves people. She's a child and youth worker. She's really focused on raising that future generation. And I'm going to just praise her for the next 1 hour. So I'm going to stop just so she can do the presentation. But my very darling sister, Dunni, thank you so much for making time to do this. I know that you and I have been talking about this topic for, for a year. And it's like, when are you going to come talk to us about it? So I'm so happy that you finally made time to do that for us. Auntie Iyaduni, thank you. And you know, her name is so beautiful and her name is so musical. And the meaning of her name, for those of us who don't know, is a Yoruba name. Iyaduni means mother is sweet. I think, did I get that correct?
Absolutely.
Yes. Of mom. Yeah, mom is sweet. So it's just sweet mother. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. So, Sister Dunni, thank you once again. Please, I'm going to have you take it away. You're going to talk to us about health is wealth. Before that, I'd like you to just sort of share a little bit about yourself. And I'm going to be sharing your screen for you. Let me know what you'd like me to do. I'm at your service. Today is all yours. And then to everybody, if you do have questions, please feel free to interrupt. This topic is so big. I was talking to Auntie Dunni, and this topic is so big that we can't even scratch the surface today. So feel free to ask questions. Wherever we stop, and we can schedule another day. Auntie Dunni, welcome.
Thank you very much, Doctor. I really appreciate this time. Honestly, I do not take you for granted. So thank you very much for having me here. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I want to say good afternoon to everybody here today. Thank you very much for having me. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate your time as well. So thank you very, very much. My name is Dunni Adeoba. So I'm this person that's very passionate about children. I love kids. So when I look at myself and I said, okay, where can I, invest my time? Is for me to, pursue my career in child and youth worker. Over the past 12 years to 15 years now, I've been in this service, and trust me, it's a very rewarding career, and I'm glad that I chose this path. I'm a mother of 3 and a wife. So I bless God for that. And I know a majority of us here also are mothers and fathers. So thank you very much for, the work well done that we'll be doing in our families, raising children. It's a big deal. And for those of us that don't have kids, we are doing very well as well. We have cousins, nephews, and all that. So we're absolutely doing great. So just a quick disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a licensed therapist. Neither am I a counselor. So I will advise us if we have any question that is more personal or that had to do with things that you need to talk to your doctors about, you can definitely do that. And I will appreciate it. We have doctors in the house that can answer those personal questions. That would be, absolutely great as well. So the topic we're talking today is health is wealth. Honestly speaking, this is not news to us. We know this topic very well. We just need that reminder. And that is why we are here today, to remind ourselves about our health. So it's not something new. We've heard this over and over and over and over again. So we title this Investing in Your Well-Being. So if you look at that statement, it said your. So that means it's personal. It's something that you had to do for yourself. So you know yourself, you know your limit, you know your weakness, you know your strength. So this is where you take advantage of those things, and you have to, invest in your own personal self. So what am I trying to say here is, me as a person, I know myself, and I know the areas that I need to, improve. So let's give an example. Let's say I have an headache. I can only tell it to my husband. My husband can say, oh, go and take Tylenol. But I'm the one that's feeling the pain, or, whatever I'm going through, I'm the one that can express that, not him. So with that saying, we have to, take this as a priority in taking care of ourselves. So first of all, I will try to, define to us what I say health is. So we can have good health, and bad health. And what we're all looking forward to is for us to have good health. So, and that is what we're going to be focusing on today. So what is health? Health is a state of physical, mental, and our well-being in general. So our physical can be, the state of how we work. Our mental can be the way we reason and see things. And our social well-being can, be the way we interact and connect with people in our community, even in our household. We've seen a lot of people that, probably as couples, they live in the same house, but they're relating together as maybe roommates. So the connection is not there, because the health is affecting the social well-being of people. They're living together, but in their heads, in their spirit, they're living apart. So those are the three, main keys of our health: the physical, the mental, and our social well-being. Also, when we say we have good health, is that state of us being, free from illness, injury, and sort of diseases, that can be, high cholesterol, high blood pressure. In some cases, it comes with, terminal diseases like cancer and so on. So that is the aspect we're going to look into as well. And also, very including like our physical fitness, our emotions, our social well-being, also our psychological well-being. Many times I feel like we Africans, pardon me if we have other race here on this platform, I would just say in general, like I feel like Africans in general, we believe so much in, oh, we're strong. Oh, I don't need to talk to people. I can do this by myself. I feel like those are the areas that we're lacking, and we can tap into these resources to make sure that we're, healthy in our psychological life. So with that being said, I'm gonna go to the next slide that said, what do I mean by investing in your health? What do I mean by investing in your health? Investing in your health means prioritizing activities and choices that promote your physical, mental, and emotional well-being, such as, regular exercise, balanced nutrition, adequate sleep, stress management, and preventions of health and health measures. I'll briefly explain that to us. When I say, investing in your physical, I'm not saying, many of us don't really have that time to, go to the gym, and go and do like 4 hours gymming and cardio and all that. But this can start within our house, probably you're sitting and standing, sitting and standing. A lot of times some people just feel like sitting and relaxing. No, we have to make sure like we're moving our body, time to time. Now we have a lot of these smartwatches around, in the market right now, where you can track, how much exercise you've done by working, by jogging. We can, invest that as well, invest in those watches. I think some are like $39.99, $49.99, just for us to track our cardios and also our emotional well-being. Honestly, I feel like sometimes this is going to be, addressing our ladies, our mommies in the house. We tend to do a lot. Of course, it's the grace that God has given to us to be able to multitask, and do a lot of things at the same time. But then we're neglecting our mental well-being many of the time. We feel like we can do a lot of things at the same time where other places are being lacked. So our mental well-being is very, very, important for us to check. It's okay to express your feelings. I feel like, again, this is going to be addressing the men in the house. Like, we have this mentality that men are not supposed to express their emotions. And I feel like it's time for men, to express themselves. If you're sad, it's okay to express that. If something happened and you need to cry, it's okay to cry. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that in expressing your feelings. This can, help your mental well-being as well. Stress management, sleeping, adequately. Um, for this one, a lot of us, have like 2 jobs, 3 jobs because we want to meet up with our needs, which is okay to meet up with our needs. But sometimes we need to, prioritize our health, because with good health, that's when you'll be able to, go for extra shifts, or you want to do some other things, right? So stress management is very, very important. Things that we feel like can, trigger some, stress in us should be addressed accordingly. If you need to talk to the third party, like the therapist, your doctor, you can as well do that just to manage your stress. You can talk to your doctors about it. There's antidepressants that people use, to manage stress. Sometimes you don't even need that. You need to talk to people. Sometimes when you talk to people, you tend to, release some, stress from your body. Of course, massage is another way, to reduce stress, especially in this part of the world that we have. So let's take advantage of that, and I hope we're able to, improve in those areas.
I'm gonna actually just throw it open a little bit for a few minutes for everyone here. So this is a very massive slide. This slide has so much going on.
Yeah.
That I'd like for us to kind of maybe take a step back and help us along with it. So there's 2 things that just kind of came to me for based on what you were saying. So one was, for example, a mother who has children and who is doing so much for everyone.
Yes.
And she doesn't have time to take care of herself, right? That's one. And then you touched on stress management, which in itself is a Pandora's box. There's millions of books on stress management and what triggers stress and all that. So in our community, we have had many cases of people literally dropping dead at work. Or maybe not dead at work, but dropping and dead before no time, right? Owing to you mentioned jobs, just taking 2 jobs, 3 jobs. So those are massive things. So what do we need to do to help us? First of all, talk to mothers. How can mothers save their lives for the family they're working so hard for? Number 2, how can what is it that triggers our stress? What makes us take 2 jobs, 3 jobs, 4 jobs? What are we pursuing? My goodness, I could just ask this question endlessly, but you know where I'm going.
Yes,
with this. So maybe you can help us with that. And please, everybody in the room, please feel free to unmute yourself and contribute, because these are very big questions that are plaguing our community. Go ahead, ma'am.
Yes, Doctor, you're very right. When I talk about our mothers, from the introduction, you introduced me as Iyaduni, and the meaning is sweet mother. And when I look at that name sometimes, personally for myself, it tends to help me to realize that mothers are just unique in many ways. So how do we preserve that sweetness? So I will use a family as an example. So, and no offense to anybody that is not Christian in the house. This is just an example. Um, it's said like the man and the wife will become one. So how do we manage this? So this had to be with the wife and the husband, understanding that the role in the house is not just for the wife. And there are certain rules in the house, not just for the man. So understanding this fact, knowing that we are working as a team, I need you in this boat so that we can get to the final destination, is both man and the woman, understanding, okay, my wife is doing this now. What else can I do to, help her reduce stress? An example would be, probably the wife is cooking. What the man can do is probably take out the garbage. Probably my wife is going to take out the garbage actually anyways. So the man can do the garbage. I feel like the more we see the roles in the house as a team, not saying, oh, this is the female gender role, this is a male gender role, then we're able to, work into each other and help one another. And when you see that, okay, I feel like this man is stressing out. What's going on? Oh, it's time to clear the snow. Who said women can clear snow? Who said women can do that? Who said men can, cook? So let's be sensitive to ourselves and see, okay, the man is doing this. What can I do so that he won't have to go do this when he's done with this? So seeing all those roles as a team role would definitely help the wife, the husband, to less their stress. Of course, when it comes to stress, trust me, doctor, I feel like we all have to be able to see one another's pain, not to be selfish. When we're not selfish, we'll be able to help our partners and say, oh, my wife, today I've seen that you've done so much. Let me do the cooking. Oh, hubby, I've seen that you've done so much today. You know what? I will just take care of the snow. And sometimes it doesn't have to do with even the chores in the house, work, maybe from the work. A lot of people, they bring from work their worst stuff and bring them home. The man is exhausted, probably is hungry and all that. So I feel like we need to know how to approach one another. Sometimes when the man can be overwhelmed with work, and you don't need to bring, like, I think that there are times for everything. Sometimes when we're hungry too, this thing kind of like contribute to our stress. You don't need a hungry man. You don't need to talk to an angry man about something that you need to be done. So all those things will help us to manage properly. And again, extra shifts. Trust me, I feel like the earlier the better we understand taking extra shifts or doing extra work is not worth it. And I'll explain why. Here's the thing. Of course, for that very time that we need our money, it's worth it. But at the end of the year, when we look at tax, you see that you're actually giving back than you're receiving. You're giving back than you're receiving. The money actually serves the purpose of that very minute, but then you're putting your health in the line for you to extra back to the government. And again, let's even look at it from the area of nurturing our kids. A lot of us with 2-3 jobs, we tend not to see our kids, babysitter from one babysitter house to another. Then we have outsiders nurturing our kids, in a different doctrine that is different from ours. Then now you have to do extra work to control or to correct what was not there before. Then that will be another burden on the family. Then the family have to be nurturing that. And, that can cause another chaos in the house. And I've seen a lot of that in this field where mommy will go and daddy will go from one daycare and from family house to another. And a lot of things are happening to these kids that we tend to address every day. So while we're here because of them, for us to, to nurture them in the way that we feel like this is the doctrine we want them to follow. But by the time we go from one shift to another job and all that, we're tired, we're exhausted. You don't even want to listen to them anymore. We just go to bed. And we continue the cycle every day. And before you know it, your toddler will be a teenager. And that's it.
So I bet you see that a lot. So as a child and youth worker,
yes,
you see some of the results of parents neglecting their children literally on a daily basis. Yeah. So I know that's a topic for another day. Today we're just talking about our health. Yes. But I don't know if you want to touch on that, please do, but also help us with single moms, because I like to say single moms more than single parents, because in many cases I think is the single parent is a mother, right? So so in a case where you have husband wife helping each other, that's a bonus. But
Yes.
then we have an increasing number of single moms like me, right, who raise children on their own without much help. And again, they have to be a mom, they have to be the caregiver, they have to be, and sometimes they take 2, 3 jobs or 2, 3 shifts. I mean, what can you like? How can we help these single parents? Yeah.
Yes.
What do
So
they need to do just to stay alive?
I know. Right? So for me, I will advise that we invest in ourselves. So what do I mean invest in ourselves? Of course, there are time for everything. For now, you can do those 2, 3 jobs to get to where you're going exactly. So investing in yourself will be probably going back to school, you know, probably going back to school to get probably a better degree, or you want to upgrade yourselves. Look into different careers. I was looking into careers that are giving more payout now, like the cyber security jobs. Those are the jobs that you can do from home. Look for works that you can do from home now. Like a lot of these jobs now, you just have to sit down in your house, comfort of your home, and be working. So look into all those computer jobs as a single mom or a single father. You can look into all those cyber security jobs. Do things in a take advantage um of internet. You can be a content creator. You know, what do I mean by content creator? You don't have to do
Yes,
much. Like you can talk about your lifestyle, have a YouTube
exactly.
channel, you know, have a YouTube channel, and YouTube is actually paying good for people that have the volume. You can start building a career on YouTube as a single mother or a single father. And that can be your niche. Being a single mom or a single parent can be your niche where people tap from your own knowledge of, doing things by yourself, the things that you've done to even be where you are. So that can be an advantage for a single parent as well. And again, I feel like everybody, parent, single mom, whatsoever, we should learn to, it's not even cut your code according to your size now. Like, let's do things in moderations, you know, like we are not in a race with anybody. Let's do things that give us joy, satisfy yourself, not the crowd, not other people, just do your own race, not other people's race. And I think that those are one of the things again that people tend to like, oh, this person is buying $1 million house. I need to do this and go buy $1 million house. No, like those things are things that I don't know how to explain it. Of course, people have different values, but I feel like as human beings and our values should be, how do we stay healthy? How do I stay longer here to make an impact? Many of the times it's not about what you have, it's about what you give out. So I feel like you know times will tell when it's started to, grow on these things and who am I? What are people gaining from me? What am I giving out? All those things are things I feel like individually you need to sit down and think about that. Am I running my race or am I running somebody else's race? So by the time we understand all those things, we'll be able to, you know, be in agree with ourselves and be, okay, this is my race and these are the things that I want for myself to stay here longer and make a huge impact. So by the time we started to grow on that, I feel like we can, derive at the point where we know that I have to invest in my health, right?
Wow. You don't need slides. You can just, you got this. So thank you so much. That's a lot of deep insights. Anybody in the house want to ask questions for this point before we resume the slides? Anybody have a contribution or question for Auntie Dunni? Going once, going twice. Okay. So share the screen again. All right. So you had just finished on this one about investing in health, and we have talked about physical, mental. All right. So where do you want me to go now?
Yeah, we're good here. Importance of health. And of course, we'll touch a little bit about this, our well-being. Of course, we want to stay longer here to enjoy life. Life is sweet, life is beautiful. So we want to stay here to enjoy everything that God has created for us to enjoy. So of course, our well-being is very, very important, enabling ourselves to enjoy life and pursue our goals. Of course, we have many dreams. There's nothing wrong for individuals to, dream big. We can dream big. Of course, I love good things. Everybody loves good things. But that shouldn't come in a way that's going to affect our lives. So quality of life, when we have good health, of course, we can sleep very well, we can eat good food and all that. Productivity as well. When you are alive, that's when you can think about, oh, I want to go and do, oh, I'm bed. I want to go and do this. I want to go and do that. And again, I feel like people should be able to cut the habit of saying no sometimes. You can't be there for everybody. Of course, it's good to socialize, have friends circle around you. But again, when it's time to say no, don't be shy away from saying that. Try to say no and give reasons. Of course, sometimes don't even owe people explanation, but sometimes it depends on the relationship that you have with that person. You may want to give explanation and say, okay, I'm saying no because of, I need to sleep. I need to do some certain things. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. So I feel like we should need, we can say that for us to have a productive life. So disease prevention, of course, when we have good life, we can, that's when you can have a life free of high cholesterol, high blood pressure. Obesity sometimes is one of the huge things, in our community as well, because of the type of food that we eat. Most of our food are starch, and when we break that down, it's going to sugar. So we tend to have a lot of sugar in our system as Africans because of our food. So of course, we have to learn to incorporate good food, balanced food. So incorporating of vegetables, proteins, of course, avoid too much of red meat. We can chicken, turkey, fish, and lamb. It's also a good way of introducing, protein into our meals as well. So important of health as well is longevity. So we tend to have, long life. Of course, that's what we're craving for. To have good life, to have long life, resilience as well. It's another one. Good health fosters resilience, enable individuals to bounce back from setback, cope with stress and adapt to changes effectively. So this is very, very important. Of course, many times things don't come in the way we project them to be. Sometimes rejection comes. How do you take rejections? Sometimes some people have like heart disease, having a rejection for such person may, lead to death, if we are not very careful. So resilience, how do you cope when things are not going the way you expect them to be? All those things, by the time we have a good life, good health, any rejection will be like, okay, I can do it again. There's absolutely no, I can do it again. I can bounce back. But if you're dealing with a lot of things in our life already, that is just going to be like a rock on top of what we're going through. So then that's when you see people going through, depression, anxiety, not be able to socialize anymore, thinking it's all over, or I can't do this anymore, I'm better dead, and all that. So by the time we, invest in our life, invest in our health, even when setback comes, we can boldly say, okay, this is not the end of it. I can bounce back. I can do it again. Rejection is not the end of it. So we begin to have like a different mindset about, things that come our way. And again, community and relationship. That's another.
Sorry, Sorry, Auntie, before you go to the next slide, I want to pause a little bit on this one because this is big. So in your work as a child and youth worker, you have seen this also, where a child decides to kill himself or kill herself because of rejection. So it's either rejection or not feeling like they belong, or maybe they feel like they're whatever. It's either friends or parents or family. There's all kinds of things that lead people to commit suicide. And suicide is on the increase in our community, not just for youth, but also for adults. I have seen, I know of a case where a young man killed himself because his spouse had an affair, something like that. So there's all kinds of reasons why people will do that. So how can we, it's a deep mental health issue. How can we begin to address even preventing that from happening? Like, what are some of the signs that we need to watch for ourselves so that we can bounce back? What are some of the signs that we need to watch in our family members so we can help them through and stuff like that? This is a big topic in itself.
Yes, it is. Thank you, Doctor. So, like you said, what are the signs that we can look into, in our family? So an example would be, let's say you have a brother that's very, very happy person, very outgoing, someone that loves to go out, someone that, keep friends around him. And all of a sudden, he doesn't like to go out, he talk less, he's not interested in things, probably social life anymore. Those are signs that we can look at too. Someone that doesn't want to go to, his workplace, he probably wants to stay in bed, not do anything, skipping meals, probably, someone that loves to eat probably 3 times a day, starting to skip meals sometimes, or decide to get dirty, decide to get dirty, not taking care of themselves, sometimes 2 3 days, haven't had their bath or brush or change their PJs. That is something that we need to look out for and begin to ask for help. And again, there's absolutely nothing wrong in asking for help. Those are one of the things that our community is depriving ourselves from help. There's nothing like, oh, I'm ashamed. Somebody's going to know this is what I'm going through. This person is going to know what I'm going through. It's better for people to know what you're going through than to come and say, we're sorry for your loss. So it's better for people to mock you now and say, oh, look at that person. It's okay. It's not for you to judge who is mocking you. That you don't even have to care about people mocking you. This is about you or your family staying alive. So let's take advantage of our work insurance. A lot of us have insurance at work that we can see a therapist, we can see psychologists. Those are the things that our workplace pay for from our own paycheck. Let's take advantage of those things. Talk to people. If you want to talk to your spiritual pastors, your imam, whatever it is, talk to them. Ask for help. Don't be ashamed. Talk to people, that you can confide in. Of course, not everybody can. It's not everybody that you can talk to, but I feel like if you're able to narrow down your circle and feel like, okay, these are the people that really cares about me, right? Then you can talk to those people. You don't have to talk to people from your own community. If you're someone that doesn't want to, talk to people outside. Let them know what you're going through. There was a case where the child was going to commit suicide, and reason was because the mom gave our senior sister a hug and not her. So in her head, she's thinking, oh, they love her more than they love me. So those are the little things that you feel like, okay, as Nigerian parents, you feel like, is that enough? Right? You feel like, okay, should that be enough reason But when you look at these teenagers, a lot of things go on in their head. And that is why we as parents or uncles, aunties have to be very, very sensitive. So even as parents, if we're not taking care of ourselves, we can't take care of them. So talk to people if you think your husband needs help. I feel like men shy away from help the most. Like, oh, I'm strong. Why do I? No, you're not strong. You need to talk to people. You need to talk to people. There's nothing wrong with it. I feel like our background back home, you know, it's not encouraging us to talk to people. Whatever happened in your house stays in your house. You cannot tell them, no, talk to people. Talk to people. We love, we want to see our friends around. We want to see family grow. You know, talking up to other people and using us as an example that, oh, this person has, this is what happened, is not what we want, right? So absolutely a great, great, great way to talk to people. Ask questions. Sometimes you don't have to come directly that the situation is you. You can come as, oh, I know somebody, this thing is happening to. What can that person do? Or who can this person talk to? Then you can be able to get information for yourself. There are lots of informations online that you can, take advantage of. Edmonton City is there. Trust me, 311 is always available for people to talk. Your physician, your family doctor, they have, tons of recommendations where you can refer to, and you can tell your doctor what you want. Or I want a Nigerian doctor. I don't want a Nigerian. I want Caucasian. I don't want Caucasian doctor. So you can narrow down your needs to, what you need for yourselves. And I'm very sure your doctor will be able to do that. So that is something I feel like we can do, asking for help and accepting help when we get that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Auntie Dunni. We cannot overemphasize the need for people to get help. Because that's secretive, like we are naturally secretive. That secretiveness can kill people. People can just die in silence and nobody knows why. So it's very, very important that you reach out. Please, everyone, reach out and get help. Okay. So I guess any questions in this section before we go back to the slides? Please unmute yourself or type a question in the chat. Going once, going twice. Okay, so Auntie Dunni will continue. You have a very quiet group today. Nobody is saying nothing. Let me speak it in African English. Nobody is saying anything.
Actually, like I said earlier, this is not a new topic to any of us. It's just a reminder. A lot of us, hear this every day,
Yes.
But it's just a reminder for us to know that these are very, very important issues among us. So,
okay, I think you have actually touched on some of these. Somebody has okay, so Jennifer says, oh, you're covering the topics thoroughly. So that's good. She's very happy with you. Good job. So I believe you have covered most of this, but if there's anything you want to say here, let me see.
So I just quickly touch on that. That's the 0.5 creating support system. Of this part of the world that we have, like a lot of us things. Actually, I'm guilty of that too, and I'm working on it. Because here's the thing, like we tend to say, oh, I don't think this person is my person, or I don't think that person is my person. Then we started to select, oh, I don't think this person is good for me. I feel like we need to start to get close to people, ask questions, be friends with people. Then you'll be able to know their interests, what they like. Is this person kind of my person? Is this somebody that I can talk to? Creating a support system whereby you can call somebody and say, oh, I need help. And you are very sure that this person is going to get your back. And an example would be, there was a time my husband was, sick, and I had to take him to the hospital. And I don't want to take the kids with me, and I'm like, who can I call? And there was this very lady that I just met, and the way we talk, I'm like, okay, I love her values. Like she's someone that cares so much about kids, our jobs, and all that. I'm like, okay. And I've been to her house a couple times. Our kids have been to my house a couple times because I'm this kind of person. I'm very, very protective of children. So I find it very, very hard to let go of my kids. And that very day, I just have to let go. And I called. I said, please, can you take care of my kids? And she's like, I would do it like over and over again. Please bring them. And I can, that kind of gave me like conviction because from the other side of the phone, I can hear the passion and the help from her voice that she really, really want to help me. And I took the kids there, and going back to pick my kids, oh, mommy, we love you here, mommy, this, mommy, that. But my mind was not 100% at rest. But then I'm like, you know what? I need to take care of this man for this very hour so that I'm able to, be myself again as a mother to take care of them. Yes. That very time my needs was met, I was grateful that someone was able to look, after my kids while I take care of my husband. So creating a support system is very important. Things happen, and we always pray that bad things shouldn't happen, but sometimes things happen that we need people around us. We have to learn how to be, kind to people, do to people what you expect them to do to you. You can't be mean to people and expect them to be nice to you. So let's cut the habit of, not being nice. Let's be nice to people. Be willing to help as well when you're being called upon so that you can get that April return. So I feel like that is very, very important to help us, as a person. Yeah.
Yeah, and there is a comment here that says some people are so ashamed to speak out because of what society will talk about them. And I guess you've covered that, but somebody is afraid to reach out because if let's say A is the one who reaches out to B, and then B takes it and then goes and gossips about, oh, did you know that A had this problem? And then it becomes a gossip talk. It can be very embarrassing, but then I guess in that situation, you can cross out B's name and say, this person is not my friend. Exactly. I'll never, ever talk to her about anything again. Like, sometimes some people are just not worth it, right? But life goes on. Where I come from, they say, small matter 1 day, big matter 8 days, something like that. If it's a small matter, people will talk about it for a day or two, and then it will die. If it's a big matter, they will gossip about it for a week.
Of course,
and then at the end, everybody moves on, right? Yeah. So if you find that somebody is an idiot, and I have to use that word, I know I'm on YouTube. If you find that somebody is undeserving of your trust in them, and you know for sure, you're never dealing with that person again. And then you just advise yourself, find new friends. That's my take. What do you think, Auntie Dunni?
Yeah, absolutely. Because if you have to think about what other people are going to say about what we tell them, trust me, we are not going to get any help. We are not going to get any help. So for me, I would just say, have it at the back of your mind that this person that I'm telling this thing may probably tell somebody, well, I'm not going to be rude. Let's try to not hurt ourselves before we get hurt. So just zero down your mind. Well, if you want to talk about it, talk about it. But I am getting the help that I need to stay here and hear the gossip. So that should be the mindset. I don't care. Go talk about it. But then you find yourself another set of friends, or another person that you feel like, okay, this time I can trust you. And again, if we're making new friends, let's try as much as we can to, talk about our values, respect one another. Because for me, I feel like those are the things that I do first, introduce my values. Like, are we on the same page? Are you interested in things that I'm interested in? Like you can tell, of course, people tend to talk a lot. You hear this one will say that one, at least like from what I've heard, what's my judgment? Am I able to move close? Right? So you'll be able to make your decision. And when you're making friends, you can talk about it. Oh, I've been in a relationship with someone, and this was what happened. I was hurt. And you can, you can say that out there and say, okay, this was what happened. I was hurt, by this person. I told her this, and she said this to another person, and that really broke my heart. So that is you indirectly telling that person that I don't like gossip. And when we're saying that, you as well have to preach, you have to do what you preach. Don't gossip another person with that person, because you're actually giving them a pass. If you're gossiping about somebody else to that person, so they can gossip about you too. They can gossip about you too. So we have to do what we want them to do to us. So don't go to your friends and gossip about other people, because they are going to gossip about you to another person. So we have to be very mindful of that as well.
All right. Okay, so time is flying away. We have just 8 minutes remaining. So we're going to take questions from the floor. Sister Dunni, I know that if you and I just stay here, we can talk for the next hour. But let's, so questions from the floor, please. Unmute yourself or type in the chat.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
It's regarding limitations that parents have in assisting kids with mental health. Here's an example. Friend of mine I know whose kid is struggling with mental health issues, but the kid is 18. She goes to the doctor as advised by a friend and gets prescribed medications. Mom sees her sleeping like a zombie, acting like a zombie. Mom asks questions, goes to the doctor with the daughter to say, hey, this kid is my kid. You prescribe medications. What is going on? And doctor says she's 18. I don't have any reason to speak to you. She can make her own decisions. And this mother is frustrated. How can a mother like that assist a daughter or a child she loves when there are legal limitations in place?
That's very, very crucial. Honestly, from the age 18, of course, the mother have no rights or anything to say about that. But as a mother that cares so much about the child, is you can say, okay, from the look of things, I don't think this child can take care of herself. I feel like, she can do actually adults. I feel like this person is an adult, but the way she's doing things, it's not behaving like an adult. I feel like she needs a guardian. So then you have to go by law and say, okay, that should be a talk between the mother and the child and say, let me be your guardian. Let me be your guardian, so that I'll be able to help you make some decisions whereby you can quickly get, help that you want, make sure that things are being, done right by you. Because most of the time, especially when you're a person of color, I'm sorry if this is coming, harsh that way. Sometimes you need to go. Like you have to double your talk, you have to double everything that you do. So in that case, I would advise the mother to talk to the child and say, hey, I'm the only one that love you here. And let the child see that you're trying to help. As an adult, you can't be yelling on adults. We just have to scrap that. We have to show that, okay, truly I'm here for you and I'm here to help. Sometimes just the mother can ask the child, what would you like me to do? What help do you want me to, where do you want me to come in? Let the child see that I'm here to help. Then you guys, the parents can go through the legal, aspect of it and say, I want to be the guidance to this adult. Then the court can allow the mom to be the guardian. So that means the mom will be making decisions for the child. But other than that, there's absolutely nothing the mother can do. But going through that route of being the guardian, to the child based on the mental health issues, absolutely. That's just the only way I feel like the mother can have a say on that child.
Thank you, Auntie.
You're welcome. I hope that helps.
It helps. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Any other question for Sister Dunni? Unmute yourselves, type in the chat. So I have one. How can we prevent, it's a big one, and maybe we can continue another day. How can we prevent our children from being taken away by social services? I just opened the Pandora's box. I know. But yeah, that's a big one. Sister Juliana, you have something to say?
No, ma. I'm just like, your question is a very good question.
Mhm.
How can we prevent our kids?
Thank you so very much. And time has run away from us. Did you want to
just
say
a
something?
quick one, Doctor? Yes. I would like to say that in schools, let's try our possible best to be available, in schools as Black parents. When they see the mom, the dad should also be present sometimes, because this can give like a different image entirely to the child. And they know that, okay, this one, the dad, the mom, they're involved. So the way your child will be treated, trust me, is different. So let's find time sometimes for meetings, for concerts and all that. Let's try to attend our children's stuff at school. It's very, very important. And that would be it for me.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Yeah. Thank you so much, Sister Dunni.
Thank you.
See, everybody, you see why I call her one of my favorite sisters?
Thank you
She and I can just talk and talk, and and it's a lot of valuable information. There isn't enough time to share all the things that you know. So for sure, you know that even if it takes another year, you're going to come back.
For sure.
It took us almost a year to get this one. So even if it takes till 2025, I'll keep connecting with you until you come back. I really would like us next topic to deal with parental involvement in schools. Because I do have some stories around there and how they really help us. And also parental involvement with homework. Okay. Yeah, it's past 4 o'clock, so let me not go there. But yeah, everyone, please help me to appreciate Sister Dunni Adeoba.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Ma. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. This is a very good topic. Like, it's good that we are all doing this as a Black parent. It's very important to all of us. And I'm really, really happy about this. I can't wait for next topic because I have something to talk about next topic.
Okay, so Denisha, I'm gonna connect with you for topics to come so that we can take our topics to Auntie Dunni and say, when are you available for these topics?
Thank you so much for having me.
God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, thank you so much. All right, so Auntie Dunni, have yourself a beautiful rest of the day. Everyone, thank you so much for being here, for taking time out of your Sunday afternoon, and God bless you.
Amen. Thank you, Ma.
Bye.
Amen.
Bye.
Thank you.